Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna dig deep into my ownership experience of the 2019 C63S Coupe, and most importantly, the financial sort of obligations that were associated with it. I know a lot of you guys out there wanna own nice cars, and so I'm putting this video together for you so that you have more of an understanding as to kind of what you're getting yourself into financially. I'm hoping that you're able to go and make a little bit more of an informed decision when it comes to you guys owning your next sort of sports car. So I've owned my C63S for just under a year now. I was the second owner to buy the car, so I didn't purchase it brand new. I took over the car at 19,000 miles. When I purchased the car about a year ago, the market was extremely high. It was top of the market. Everything was going for a real premium, just on the back end of COVID, supply and demand, right? High demand, not a lot of supply. So I'll get to the total purchase price of the vehicle near the end of the video, but I paid on the sort of top end for the car. More so because I found the car that I wanted. I found the spec that I wanted, all black, carbon fiber trims, little sort of accessories, just about fully loaded. It had the comfort seats, not the performance seats, because they were a little bit more comfortable. It was the spec that I wanted, right? And I had been searching, trying to find the one with the right spec, with the clean title, one that was perfectly sort of for me. And when I found that, I was real pleased, and I didn't think another one was going to come up in the near future. And so that's why I kind of paid a premium for it. So I've plugged all my numbers into an Excel spreadsheet, all the costs, tires, fuel, ownership, financing, insurance, and it's a pretty expensive number. The cost to own these expensive sports cars at AMG, it's not cheap. So let's get into it sort of one after the other, heading by heading, and break it down for you. So the first one I want to discuss is insurance, okay? So when I took over this car, when I purchased this car, I financed the car. I didn't buy it outright. I don't have, close to 100 grand in cash. So I financed it, and I got a really good interest rate. But one of the terms that the bank wanted was that I needed full coverage. So they were basically saying, if we were going to finance you for this amount of money, we want the car to be fully covered, okay? So comprehensive and just about everything, which is actually, as an owner, that's what you want. You want to be fully covered. There's no point spending all this money on a beautiful car. It's costing a lot of money and not have it covered, right? There's a lot of idiots on the road, that even if you're driving perfectly, will take a lane by accident, ding you, run their grocery cart into your car in the parking lot at Walmart or something like that. So full coverage is something that you really should have. But back to the story, my bank wanted full coverage for me, okay? So based on my state, it's going to be a little bit different for everybody. I have a lot of driving experience. I'm 38. I've been driving since I was, 16, 17 years old, living in Pennsylvania. I was looking at $250 US per month for my insurance rate, okay? So in saying that, I want you guys in the comments, if I'm missing anything, any information, or if you think that's really high, or you think that's low, or if you've had some sort of situations or experiences with your insurance rates, let me know. Write me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. So $250 a month, which is pretty steep. That gives me full coverage of the car, and that's every month for the year. Something that you guys need to pay attention to is the C63 is a 500 horsepower rear-wheel drive car. So if you're driving it in any circumstance or any country, state, city that has a lot of snow or is very wet, it's really, unless you have some good winter tires on it, which I don't. I have Michelin Pilot Super Sports, right? Sticky performance tires. It's undrivable in the winter, okay? So I'm paying $250 a month for the whole year, right? In the winter, for the last 2 months, I don't drive the car at all. It just sits there, right? And I know I could bring it down to fire and theft, and I could alter it a little bit, but I haven't done that yet. It's literally, so it's an expense. It's sitting there. The car payment to own the car is one thing, and the insurance to own the car, even though I'm not driving it, is another thing. So just another little piece to think about, right? It's sitting there, not putting miles on it, but I am paying to have it insured through the winter term, so for probably about 4 months of the year. So total insurance for the year, $250 times 12, we're looking at $3,000 US for the year to insure fully insure a 2019 C63 S Coupe. So the next thing I want to discuss is tires. Probably one of the biggest things you're going to realize in terms of wear and tear on these cars, rear-wheel drive cars, is tires. Okay, for a set of Michelin Pilot Sport, 4Ss or Pilot Super Sports, you're looking at close to $1,000, right, for a set of tires, and that's before alignment and and all the labor that goes to putting them on, all that stuff. So when I first got my car, the front tires both needed to be replaced right away. So that was $1,000 right off the bat. I drove for a little bit. About a month and a half in, I drove over, just going through a construction site, unavoidable, drove over a nail. Big, huge, gouge in the sidewell, not the underground. So they say the tire is here. If you get a nail anywhere in there, it can be patched, no problem, $30. But because I got it in the side, they weren't able to do that. So new tire, $600, done. So that was 3 tires, upwards of $1,500 in the first sort of 2 months of ownership, which was really, really sad. And then about 6 months in, another thing, drove over a staple in a construction site, and same deal. It went in 2 areas, 2 prongs. So wasn't able to patch it. Another set of tires, done. And usually when you go to buy a set of tires or go to have a set of tires installed, they say, oh, well, these ones they're wearing not at the same rate. This one's really worn. You don't want to put a brand new one on and a really worn one on. So they recommend you to put both the tires on at the same time. Put brand new ones on the same time. So I was out another 2 rear wheel tires. Okay, so we're talking another $1,500. So in my ownership, had it for about a year. I've put 4 different tires on the car. And so, brand new Michelin Pilot Sports, amazing, nice and sticky, awesome car, awesome tires. But to constantly have them putting them on and eating up that cost, there's nothing you can do. You can drive, careful and stuff like that, but on your city streets and stuff like that, it's really unavoidable. There's nothing you can really do. So tires, huge wear and tear. We'll say $3,000 so far in my ownership for the last year, 4 different tires. So I've been lucky, like the warranty is still valid on my car for another year, right, to the end of, to about October. I highly suggest that if you're going to buy this car, you keep it when it's in warranty. When the car is about to be out of warranty, I would personally look to get rid of it just because you're out of pocket. When these cars break down, they really break down, and the cost for repairs, the cost for these parts, these systems, it's a computer essentially. These little things that break down are very expensive. So I've been pretty fortunate. Had a new battery replaced. That cost about $500. That was done under warranty. New radiator, excuse me. The car was leaking and needed a new radiator. Another $1,200 US. That was done under warranty. The ventilated seats were kind of acting up a little bit. That was done under warranty. Wireless charging pad was a little bit finicky. Was able to put that in, have it done under warranty. So all these things, these would have been huge costs. I was able to bring them to the dealership and just have them sort of negated right off the bat, which is really nice because the car is in warranty. The next one I want to talk about is fuel costs, right? And we're living in a world where fuel is extremely expensive. But not to mention, I'm driving a car that's an absolute pig on gas. And, message me in the comments. I know I can hear what you guys are saying now. It's a pig on gas, but if you're driving it on the paddle shifters and race mode everywhere you go, it's gonna make it exponentially worse. And I do. I bought the car to enjoy the car, but it is a pig on gas. So when I drive the car in comfort mode, I get about a week driving, putting around the city, and then I need to fill up. It's about $100 US every time I fill the tank. But I don't drive it in comfort mode that often. I never drive it in sport either. I'm almost always in sport plus or race mode. And I'm almost always on the paddle. So I'm basically in the gas station every 3 days at $100 US a pop. Okay, let's do the math on that one. So in the gas station every 3 days, over 30 days, that's 10 times at $100 a pop. That's another $3,000 per month on fuel. All right, so if you followed any of my other videos, you can watch a full review of the video. You can watch me chrome deleting the video. You can watch me racing other cars. I've done a whole lot with the car. I've really had a great experience with it, and I've documented it in all those videos up top. I urge you to subscribe to the channel and check out all the other videos. So you'll see that in the other videos that I bought the car in California, had it sent all the way across country to me. I worked that price of delivery into the total cost. So the total cost for the vehicle, as I said before, I bought it at when the market was really, really high, was $80,000 US plus tax and shipping. So it came out to $85,000 US dollars for everything with tax. And that included to have the car shipped all the way over to Pennsylvania, right to my door. So I wasn't in a position to pay that outright, to buy that car outright. I didn't have 85,000 US just lying around that I could allocate to a car. So I put about $25,000 down and financed the rest through my local bank, which gave me a really, really good interest rate of 3%, which was amazing, amazing, amazing over the course of 5 years. So what that did was bring my monthly payment to $1,100 per month. And so I think a lot of you guys are going to say, whoa, well, that $1,100, that's a lot of money. And that's before all the other costs. I think when you're buying a car like this, you need to factor in, why are you buying the car? What are you buying the car for, right? Is it a midlife crisis? Are you buying it to use it for YouTube? I bought this car to document it on YouTube, to grow my YouTube channel, right? To show you guys what the experience of having this car was. To put it through its paces, right? To race it, to do different things to it. So I've grown my audience, I've grown my views, and I've generated income through there, right? So is it justified for me? I definitely think it is, yeah. So I think you need to ask yourself the question, why are you gonna buy a car like this? And is it the right fit for you? The other thing you guys need to consider is the fun factor of these cars and what comes along with that negatively, right? So I'm a 38-year-old man. I consider myself a little bit more on the mature side versus my 20-year-old or 19-year-old sort of side. So I think buying this car at this age, I have a different understanding of it, all right? I respect the power. I drive it hard, but I don't drive it like an idiot all the time. So in saying that, I've still gotten so many speeding tickets. So on average, I'm getting a speeding ticket probably every 3 months where my foot is just down. The car's so fast that I put my foot down just a little bit and boom, I'm up to 130 kilometers an hour. Boom, Murphy's Law, cop is right there sitting there, The car's so loud that it draws a lot of attention to itself. So something to factor into your car buying process is definitely getting speeding tickets, okay? So my last speeding ticket, I was going way over, almost had demerit points against me and stuff like that. It was a $300 ticket. So something to consider, right? When you buy a car like this, it's so much faster than every other car, and it's so much more capable than everything else on the road that it's like when do you open it up? As soon as you put your foot in it, you're at lose your license sort of speeds like that. So in order to really enjoy the car and have a little bit of fun with it, you kind of have to break the law, right? So within reason, obviously, but you need to factor in some speeding tickets and some issues with the law within reason again. All right, another little note just in terms of wear and tear and servicing the car is just basic oil changes, right? Think about how often a car needs an oil change. When you're driving a car like this and you're driving it hard, I like to get my oil changed pretty often, right? I find myself in there every couple months just out of sheer not wanting to let it go too long. I'd rather do it too early. So to bring it to Mercedes-Benz and have an oil change done, I've got it right here. You're looking at $345 to do everything, to have all the oil filters changed and brand new high performance oil done. And say to be safe, you do it every sort of quarter, every 4 months. So that's 3 times per year. With regards to servicing the car, this oil changes are just normal wear and tear. They're unavoidable costs. You got to think about, and you got to factor this into your buying experience, is little things, windshield wipers, little dings. If you're driving behind a dump truck or something like that, and they throw up a little bit of of rocks and it chips your car. Paint protection. Mine's ceramic coated. That costs $1,000. All the paint protection and all that stuff. So you almost want a little heading or a little bit of cost consideration for little things that could go wrong. And there's always going to be little things that could go wrong or that will go wrong with the car. So whatever your budget may be for that, it's all dependent on what vehicle, where you're driving it, when you're driving it, different conditions. But definitely have a heading for that in your calculations when you're buying a car like this. Okay, so running the final numbers here. Okay, let's just do this. So we've got $3,000 a year for insurance at $250 a month for myself. We've got my 4 tires in my year of ownership. That's $3,000. I'd say it's about that. Every sort of 6 months you're doing a set of tires. I would say that's the general trend in terms of wear and tear for the tires. That's another $3,000. Fuel costs, right? We talked about that. An average of $3,000 per year, right? On going in there every 3 days, 10 times a month for 12 months. $3,000 is what I've got here for fuel costs per year. Remember, you're putting 91 to 93% octane in. With gas prices in this day and age, it gets a little bit pricey, between $100 and $120 US per month. And then servicing, I've got about $1,000, so $350 for just regular oil change. 3 times a year, every quarter. You could add a little bit to that, right? Windshield wipers, spark plugs. My 30,000 mile interval service B is going to be really expensive. That's another little cost, something to consider, right? So all those costs add up to about $10,000, give or take, for the year, US dollars. Then you divide that by 12, okay? And that's going to bring me to about $850 US. Then I'm going to put my $1,100 car payment on top of that, and I'm looking close to $2,000 per month. $1,937 per month. Okay, so you guys are going to say that seems like quite a bit of money, but the amount of pleasure that this car has given me in the last year, every time I get into it, it's just, I just feel so good about it. The sounds it makes, the way it looks. When I get out of it and walk away, I turn back and I go, So in your car buying process, first off, you gotta know that it makes sense financially, right? I've run some numbers for you here. You kind of have a little bit better understanding as to, the different subcategories of where you're gonna pay monthly. So financially, ask yourself that question: can you make it work? The second thing is, is it going to be fun for you? Are you really going to thoroughly enjoy it, right? Do I get $2,000 US worth of pleasure out of it? I definitely do. I love it. I absolutely love this car. So in saying that, I think I've made the right decision. I've really, really enjoyed this experience. I want to know from you guys though, right? What kind of cars are you looking to buy? What are the insurance rates you guys are getting? You know what I mean? What are your plans for your car? What are some new models you guys are looking at? What are your experiences that you've had with the car? Am I missing anything here? Am I leaving anything out? Other AMG owners, where are you seeing your most wear and tear, your biggest costs, right? We didn't talk about accidents. If you get into an accident, that's a massive cost, right? This is why we have good insurance rates. I would love to hear from you guys. Hopefully this gave you a better understanding. This was meant to be a really educational sort of video to give you understanding of what my experience and the financial sort of side of my experience has been with my AMG. Obviously, there's higher price points, there's lower price points, and everything in between. So hopefully you guys got some information here and you found this useful. If you did, hit that subscribe button, hit like, share it. There's tons of other videos up here that I'm going to link for you guys to check out with my C63 sort of experience. Get familiar with it, check it out. Drop me a note, send me a comment. I'd love to hear from all of you guys on your experiences as well. Okay? See you guys in the next video. Bye.